Hey guys, this is Stu, just doing an inbox review of what is a very highly sought after kit. I was very lucky in that I managed to obtain this Airfix 148 BAC TSR2 via my brother, who actually managed to snap one up at the shop just before they went off the market around about 4 years ago. I have seen them on eBay going for ridiculous prices now, so if you're prepared to get hold of one and you're determined to, you're going to have to pay the money. But as I say, I was very lucky to get this as a present some 4 years ago, so thanks Neil and Debs. The aircraft itself was designed as a replacement for the Canberra bomber, and basically if it had gone into service it would have been a world beater. To show you how fast this damn thing was, the then pilot Roman Beaumont only actually managed to make it fly supersonic once before the program was cancelled. It was only when it was being transferred over from its initial trials at Boxford down to Warton that he accidentally put the aircraft on reheating one engine, and the chase plane, which was the Lightning, had to go on its full engines just to keep up with it. So that gives you food for thought, doesn't it? If we'd had this in the Gulf War, that would have ended a lot damn quicker. So yeah, sad but they're true. But if you want to find out more about the history of this particular aircraft, there is a film on YouTube about it, and that goes into a lot more detail. In fact, they're interviewing Roland Beaumont himself, who said when he first flew this, it was the finest aircraft he'd ever flown. So check it out. Anyway, without further ado, we'll go on with this inbox review. In fact, before I finish that, the only thing that I will tell you is that Maggie, that's my former Premier Margaret Thatcher, did have an inkling of resurrecting the programme in 1981. But because of costs, it was sadly not put through. So if it had been, who knows. Anyway, let's get on with the review. As you can see by the size of my hand, this is one hell of a big box, because this aircraft is big. And if anybody's been at Telford, well, not Telford, Cosford or Duxford, they've got two of the real aircraft there. Anyway, the kit number on this, if anybody wants to try and get hold of one on eBay, is A10105. That's A10105. Okay. Right, let's have a look inside. There we go, that's the instruction sheet as you see there, with an illustration of the aircraft on the front. I'm just going to turn the box around a moment. Only going to briefly skip through this actually, so you'll bear with me because there's 21 pages to this instruction sheet. As per usual, you've got your history of the aircraft in about 4 different languages, or 5. I think even including Chinese, hey? And then you've got the assembly instructions and the symbols that you see there. First stage is obviously the cockpit, as you see there. I'm not going to bother with the crew. I'm going to basically just assemble the interior. I've actually got an aftermarket Edward detail set just to give it a little bit more added detail, but you can get resin sets for some of the electronic bays as well as the cockpits and engines, etc. And then the assembly of the intakes, which are added to the sides of the fuselage. Then you got the avionics bay, which you see there, along with the side bays for the undercarriage, which is quite well detailed. And you've got a spar there as well. And you do have the option of having the bomb bay open with a bomb if you want to. So there you go, and that shows you where the placement of it goes. Then the assembly of the air brakes, that's at the sides of the fuselage, up and lower. And then the assembly of the cockpit tub and avionics bays to the fuselage. Then the wing assemblies, which is then put into the fuselage. And the assembly of the engine outtakes, as you see here. Okay, and then obviously all the main parts of the component of the kit are put together. Now this actual tailplane, believe it or not, was one full old rudder. It just used to oscillate like that from side to side, but if you see the video of the film you'll see. And then assembly of the tailplanes and rudders. And there's a nice feature I've seen on this with the tyres. I've actually moulded it as though they've actually got weight on them. So very nicely done, Airfix, and including the nose wheel bay. Okay. And if I go over, then you've got the undercarriage assembly of the main bogies, as you see there, and then the lower part of the fuselage to the aircraft kit. The main bogies applied and the nose wheel, and that's showing you the angle to set them up. Obviously this is part of the avionics as well. And then assembly of the actual bay doors, which is for the bomb bay. And more assembly of some sub-assemblies for the undercarriage. And then obviously you've got the air brake assemblies, which go on the upper and lower part of the fuselage. And then the cockpit canopy is applied, along with the nose and the pitot tube. And that's your kit done. Obviously you've only got one colour call out on this kit, which is anti-flash white, as was at the time with all the V-bombers, etc. Showing you the location of all the stencils and the main parts of the decals. And you have got the option of 3 aircraft. One which was the only one that flew, XR219, and then obviously the second prototype, XR220, which is at Cosford, and 222, which is at Duxford. You can get the option of doing sort of what-if schemes, I think, on the market for aftermarket decals as well, on 148th and the 172nd kits. So, yeah. Right, let's have a look and see what's inside. Okay. As you can see, one big fuselage. This is a big aircraft. If anybody's seen the actual real thing, you'll know. But the thing I like is they've got beautiful recessed detail on this. And as I say, with this bit here, electronics bay, you can get an aftermarket set, so you can cut that out and show all the internal detail. And I've seen one made up at a model show about 2 years ago, and it looked beautiful. Right, then you've got some of the avionics bays, which you see here, and the control panels. Not a bad lot of detail, as you can see. Not too bad as well, if I can get it in the focus. Very nice. Some of the undercarriage assemblies, and you've obviously got the pilot and navigator, which I'm going to leave out. Very nicely moulded, very crisp and clear, not an ounce of flash. So there you go. Okay, so that's that part, that's the second sprue. Then you've got the wing assembly. Again, you've got some lovely recessed panel detail there as well. Look at that, doesn't it look gorgeous? The thing I like is it's had a sort of a stance on it, like an eagle. In fact, they were going to call it the eagle, believe it or not. And this is the lower part of the fuselage, as you can see here. Again, beautiful recessed panel detail. If I can get it in the focus a bit more. Lovely, absolutely gorgeous. And as I say, you've got the weighted nose, weighted wheels, as you can see there, to accentuate the weight of the aircraft. Well done, Airfix. I wish more people would do this. And then you've got the option of the bomb bay there. Okay, to hold your bomb, and that's part of the upper fuselage again. Again, lovely recessed panel detail, which will come out nice with a wash. And then as part of the main frame for the undercarriage. And an air brake. And there's your main wheel hubs for your main bogies. Again, you can probably add a little bit of detail with some wiring, etc. on that. Okay. And then you've got where the cans come out. As I say, this is a big aircraft, as you can see there. And that's your nose. And these are part of the intakes. And that's your bomb bay, as you can see there. That's the option of having that, and that's the back of the cans, which you can see that. Now that's quite nice. I like that touch, I really do. So that, well done, Airfix. I really take me out. As I say, you can't get this kit anymore unless they reissue it, which I hope they do. Be good if they retooled it. Anyway, we'll see. So that's that. That's all your main sprues, and then obviously you've got the canopy and navigator station. You see they're beautifully crisp and clear. So yeah, the only thing is you will have to tint these, because I think on the real aircraft, the not so much the front part of the cockpit, but these were tinted, so you won't see a lot, fortunately. And then obviously you've got one of the cockpit tubs, which you see there with the side panel detail. But as I say, I've got an aftermarket brass Edward set, which you've got here. It's self-adhesive. So that's going to add a nice bit of detail to the canopy, I have to say. And if you want to know the number on that one, I don't know if it's got it on here. FE436, look that one up, guys. Okay. And then obviously you've got the front nose wheel bay, which you see here. So that's probably needs a little bit more work done to it. And then this is the main. Oh, that's one of the tail planes. Again, you've got some beautiful recessed panel detail on that. And this is your decal sheet. If I remove the tissue a bit, you can see you've got all your stencils here, and then the markings for 3 of the aircraft. Alright. Not a bad kit, I have to say. It's very hard to get hold of, and you will have to pay through the nose if you see them on eBay, because obviously it being an iconic aircraft, and there was only one that ever flew, it's very hard to get hold of this kit. As I say, I was very lucky. It's one of my favourite aircraft. A very sad story, I have to say, and if we'd had this aircraft, who knows, we could have been the world beaters. That, my friends, is the Airfix 148th TSR2. Hope you liked the review. If you did, subscribe, and until then, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll see you on the next review.